Hello. Yeah, girl Giselle. I cool what happen. I go on by the pharmacy the other day, girl, to fill out a prescription for Tanty Fanny. Minding my business as usual. You know me, I don't look left, I don't look right. Anyway, girl, I go on in the pharmacy, stand up in the line, cashing my thing. Next thing you know, anyway, Balani pick up this thing called stimming, right? This is to help you understand what happened and how it went down. So like when you see some of the autistic children and thing flapping their hand, that's the best example I could give you. So he started to flap his hand and thing. So that's what he doing. Me had no problem with that. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Girl, this woman standing behind me with she two children, staring, pointing and laughing at Lani. When I turn around and I watch this woman and square in she face, she is to make 4 eyes with me, Giselle, Mary, Juanita, Alvarez, and Ball. All you're so wicked to bring them kind of children into this world. Girl. Anyway, Akash, I turn around and I watch she. I guess she my beauty queen smile. I wave, I walk out. I put my child in the car. I give him a show to watch on the tablet. I take off my plait, I take off my earring, I take off my shoe, and I stand up and I wait for she. Girl, when she walk out that door and she see me, she gets shifty, and then she freeze. Girl, she freeze like Lot wife in Sodom and Gomorrah. I wanted to die, but I know how to keep my featherweight champion of the world face on. So girl, I walk up to she. How you mean if I hit she, girl? Girl, I long time thing, I not beating nobody no more. I educating you, I giving you a chance. I talking to you first, and I talking to you a little hard, but I talking to you. I say, Miss Lady, let me explain something to you. You're a stranger to me, you don't know my child. You understand? You don't know my situation, you don't know my child's situation. I say, here, what, let me teach you 2 things. If it's people business you like, go down by Chamber of Commerce in Westmoreland and join. Pay your fee like everybody else and join. And then I tell she, I say, and hear this, stop looking down on people who live different than you. You understand? Unless it's help you politely offering, lock down your mouth and mind your business. But anyway, I cooking curry, you coming through. All right, come on now, we gonna knock back a little thing and thing. All right, let's go.
Is a fact, strictly facts, and it's that.
Giselle, as a baby, was a very focused baby. In the sense that I think I realized and recognized something was a bit different from about 3-4 months. When I fed him and I put him in his crib, I was amazed that he just was intrigued with the characters on the bumper pads, right? So I was like, but why this child just staring at these bumper pads? Other instances too of, he may have saw something on the floor, a piece of thread. And Giselle would have stared at this thread for hours. And I was like, what's so interesting about this thread? That he's staring at this thread for hours. So I guess I recognized that something was different from the get-go. I just didn't know what it was, but I know something was different.
It's a different kind of mind. It is bubble different than yours and mine. It's a different kind of mind. It's an old puzzle if you just try, you'll be all mine. The rainbow scene and a brand new vibe, will be all mine. 4, 3, 2.
I was just happy that this is a child, he's staring at his bumper pads, he could self-stimulate, right? He didn't require me to stimulate him. But I guess with him getting older and him not speaking, then it became somewhat of an issue. And then he had his brother that was 1.5 years younger than him, and the brother was a perfect parrot. So I was like, but you parroting and Giselle he's not speaking. And when he had a voice, it was not a voice that allowed for one-on-one conversation. It was a mimicking of sentences. In addition, other things used to bother him, like songs. He wouldn't make eye contact. He also, certain textures and stuff, he didn't like round neck jerseys. He didn't like water to be on his cup at all. He didn't like certain foods, so he would have ate pizza upside down. And I was, but why is he eating the pizza upside down? Right? And he was very routine in what he wanted to eat. And I had to give him that, else he would have thrown a tantrum, and that would have been it. Right? I just had to give him something to eat, the particular thing he wanted to eat at the time. So, I told myself, something, I just need to find out what is really wrong with him. So I think the first step was seeking a speech therapist, because for me, that was the immediate issue, right? The lack of speech, the lack of his own words.
So if your child has a certain trigger, you might want to think back to what happened just before that trigger happened. And you also want to think about how they are with processing their senses in general. Would they be sensitive to different sounds? Is it that they don't like crowds? Are they sensitive to different textures? Once you start to realize maybe there's a pattern with how they respond to different things, you might have an idea of what might be their triggers, so that the next time something happens, you might be able to see it coming, and okay, I don't want to take them to the supermarket where there's a lot of people because I know they don't like crowds. So the first thing to do is to be a little bit of a detective, so you can start to understand if there might be any patterns to this behavior, and to understand how they're processing senses in general. And then you can go from there with being able to manage it afterwards.
Routines are important to individuals with autism, so that they are able to be aware of what happens and to lessen their frustration and anxiety. However, within those routines, there should be some flexibility as well, because we are in a dynamic world, and for them to be able to adapt, we need to have changes within that routine as well. A perfect example is what's going on now, which is the pandemic. So kids on the spectrum have been accustomed to certain routines, but because of what's going on now, that change has added a kink into their processing. What helps are schedules, social stories. For the kids who are more verbal, you can use short but concise statements to help them cope, and also to be forewarned for future situations.
Yeah, Luscious, morning girl, it's Giselle from 2 streets down. Yeah, you alright? Girl, I want to talk to Spider. Thanks. Spider, morning darling. It's Giselle, the first love of your life, the only love of your life. You will always love me, and I will kind of always love you. That's all you need to know, Spider. But I hear things going real good with your business. Don't mind this business that I don't really deal up in. That's why me and you didn't make it to no, Spider. We would have make a good team, but for the Lord, but for them things you went and get involved in. But don't be stingy, because I want you to make a contribution to an organization called Cause and Effect. Yes, and I want you to go on social media and like, share, subscribe, and donate. How you mean you ain't sure about donating? Spider, you want everybody really know how you get our name, Spider? You forget I still have the video of me making you climb walls. You ain't that bad at all. You forget it's me was bad at all. Right. Yeah, put me on to Luscious. Yeah, Luscious. Spider say he's going to make a big contribution to an organization called Cause and Effect that I just asked him. Plus he tell me he can't read. So I'm going to need you to take him to Alta. I will give you the number, right? Help him to learn to read and write to manage the business. I know use the lady and thing managing everything, but nah. But anyway, so here what? I want all you to like, share, subscribe, and donate to Cause and Effect. And I go come and collect the money from you Tuesday, right? That good? Lunchtime? All right, darling. I go see you then. Love you. Bye.
It's a different kind of